You are listening to episode 95 of the Peaceful Mind Podcast. Welcome to the Peaceful Mind Podcast, a place for creating the peace of mind you need to be the best mom you are created by God to be. If you want to bring more balance, more joy, and more peace to your motherhood, this is the place for you. I'm your host, certified life coach and Catholic mom, Danielle Tienel. In the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, let's get started. Today we're going to talk about 5 ways to achieve more balance in your life. Now, here at the Peaceful Mind Podcast, we are all about helping moms have more peace of mind. Because when you do, you show up as the most effective version of you. You become and live out the mom that you dreamed to be. And that version that you thought of even before you had kids and became a mom is accessible to you at any time. You just have to be reminded. And that's why I'm here on this podcast, to help you remember what you already know. But then there's also concepts, tools, and knowledge out there that you don't know yet. And I want to help you learn it so that you might have the most peaceful, balanced motherhood. And when we feel more peaceful, we feel more steady, we feel more in control, we feel balanced with all that we're doing. But we're going to hone in on 5 ways to achieve more balance in your life. Especially if you find yourself feeling that more times than not, you're overwhelmed, you are a little bit exhausted and just feeling behind. These will help you get back on track, feeling back in balance. And these 5 ways are actually the 5 pillars I use in my small group life coaching program called Busy to Balanced. So if you want to know more information about that program, definitely come to a free peace strategy call with me, because that is first the entry point for us to meet and to find out about what's going on in your life, and for me to give you help and to see what it's like to engage with a life coach and how it can help you. And then finding out more information about becoming part of the Busy to Balance program for moms. I'll be happy to let you know. But these 5 ways today are the pillars of this program, but you can start thinking about and applying it to your life right now. Number 1 way to achieve more balance in your life is for you to define what balance is for you. In fact, all of these pillars will have you go defining things, because how do you know what you actually are after, like attempting to create for yourself, if you haven't really decided what that end goal is by defining it? Brains love to know specifics. And so in order to be more balanced, what does the word balance mean to you? When you think this is what will be happening in my life when I'm in balance, and this is what will be happening in my life when I'm out of balance, what is this? So if we're yelling at our kids, do we feel like something's off here? If we are always rushing around and feeling like we're behind and we just don't have enough time, it's probably because we have so much to do, or at least our brain is telling us that we do, and everything feels very chaotic and out of sync. So take the time to ask yourself, how will I know for me and my life, and as many kids as I have in the situation I have with work or, family life, what is being in balance like for me? When I am in balance, what am I doing? What's going on? When I'm out of balance, what is happening? And it's just going to be different for all of you. So way number 1 to achieve more balance in your life is to get clear and define specifically what your definition of balance for your life is. And why do you want it? That's just a little extra layer to go in when you're thinking about it. Once you define it, like, why is that your definition? Do you like that reason why? And that will help you. It'll help you get specific and more clear. Number 2, the second way to achieve more balance in your life is to know and define what is your role as a mom, like right now, at this certain stage in motherhood. When I have my clients come to my group, some of them have just become a mom. Some of them are in the throes of middle-age schools, and then it ranges, right? So I have moms like me where you're teenagers or they're going off to college, and then I have moms who are pregnant with their first child. So knowing what your role is, if you're a mom of toddlers, if you're a mom of teenagers, if you're a mom of kids who have already left the house and are grown, and even if you're stepping into the stage where you are having grandkids, it is going to be different, your level of balance and your role as a mom in your kid's life. It's heavier on the front end, right? You are just really deep into it when you have those bunch of little kiddos going on. So it's going to change. And isn't that also good news if right now you find that you are overwhelmed in your role as a mom and you're like, just feels like impossible to feel the peace and feel like in control and capable and like just satisfied with how everything is going. If it's just hard for you, just know and think, what would balance look like? What does balance look like for me in this stage of motherhood? Then, number 3, I want you to define how you want to spend your time and why you are choosing the things that you are doing in your life right now. We just can't have a balanced life without talking about the subject of time. It is something that in my program we talk about all the time, right? And it's so important. It's so important for you to take the time to understand how you're spending it, what you're spending it on, if you want to redecide to spend it on those things, that you are choosing to spend your time in the way that you are. Like, you don't have to. You either want to, or you're just not consciously giving the thought around each thing that you've decided to say yes to or no to in your schedule. So to achieve more balance, you must dive deeper into your management of time. And we do that extensively in Busy to Balanced. So way number 4 to achieve more balance in your life is to define your future. So how distracted are you? How much are you on track for reaching your goals? We talk about goals and goal setting, which is planning your future essentially. And when we put some time and attention to this aspect, you will become more balanced because you know where you're going, you know where you're heading, and you're making progress towards that. So there's not a lot of questioning when you take on something new. You can always ask, does this fit into my ultimate plan for my future? And if we are distracted from that, we will then be able to have consciousness around our distraction, and then we'll be able to decide if you want to keep doing that or not. And we just can't feel balanced in our lives if we just don't know where we're going. And so we want to really define goals. And I know that goals isn't a glamorous word, but it is important. That's why it's talked about so much. Okay, the last point that I want to bring up to conclude the 5 ways to achieve more balance in your life is to call on your faith. So I am a faith-based coach, which means that I intertwine faith-based principles into my coaching. And I couldn't presume to think that I could teach you all how to have more balance and peace and joy in your life without bringing in the component of your faith, whatever it is. I happen to be a member of the Catholic Church, and I draw on our sacraments and the church's teachings to guide me. And whatever it is for you, that where you find your faith, where you connect to our Creator in some form or fashion, we want to draw on those beliefs that we have to be able to help and guide us on next steps and what we would want to emulate in our lives to move forward. So an example of this is that I am always telling my clients not to hurry, that a mom who feels balanced is not in a rush. She has an unhurried spirit about her. And I equate that to God's rhythm. God doesn't rush, right? It is steady and calm. And he also encourages us always to be not afraid. And so I tell my moms, in order to live this balanced life that you want, it is going to take you drawing on courage. Christ told us not to be afraid. And so we want to emulate that and draw on courage. And it might be courage that you need to let go of some things in your life. It might be courage to speak up for yourself, to no longer people please. And here's the main thing I tell my moms: you are never alone. And this, I love enhancing my life by calling on my faith, helps me get back into balance because I know I'm not alone. And especially that's why I love the group coaching component that I have, that other moms can come in here and have community and can see that others are really struggling with the same issues they are. And we see that we need each other and that we're not alone in our struggles. And so the last component is to call on your faith. Like, connect your faith with everything that you are doing in your life. And you will see when you do that, you will have that extra injection of peace. Okay, so let me just summarize these 5 ways to achieve more balance in your life. Number 1, you. What is the definition that you have for balance in your life? Number 2 is similar, but we want to have the distinction between you and the role of mom. So for number 2, define your role as a mom and the definition for balance as it is right now, where you are in your motherhood. What stage are you in? The same definition for what balance would look like won't be the same for when you have young kids and older ones. So we want to define the balance for you as your role as mom right now at this stage. Number 3 is to define how you want to spend your time. You need to evaluate what you're choosing to spend your time on and just recommit that you like your reasons why and what you are choosing to spend your time on. This will help you achieve more balance in your life. Number 4 is define your future. Set goals. Be specific. Focus and direct your brain. Know where you're headed. This will help you stay in balance because you will check yourself whenever something new is presented to you. Does that fit into your current goals at this time of your life? And number 5, call on your faith, mamas. It's there for you. And it has lessons and it has direction. What would Jesus tell you? What does your faith tell you about being in balance, about what's important, about what you value? And it will be your guide. So I hope you heard these ways today and you were able to see areas where you feel like you're right on target. And maybe I brought up some things where you're like, yes, I want to work on that a little bit more. So now you have some place to focus on. And if you want help with that, if you want to be in a space where this is what we focus on and we add your particulars of your life circumstances into these pillars, into these ways to achieve more balance, then please, I invite you to come to a free peace strategy call with me. We will strategize how you can have more peace, more balance, and more joy starting right now in your life. Okay, thanks again for being here. I love you all, and I'll talk to you again next week. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Peaceful Mind Podcast. Are you ready to take everything I teach you here and put it to work for your own life? To really learn how to have peace of mind no matter what is happening around you? If so, I'd love to have you as a client. As your coach, this is where you'll get personal and focused time on your own mind using life coaching tools, concepts, and proven life-transforming wisdom, all through a faith-filled lens. To learn more about how we can work together, come on over to danielleteenel.com. There, you'll see how to sign up for a free coaching consult and learn how to get started. Until next time, peace be with you always.